YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Attila, and Maximus Decimus Meridius, the professor of Total Warology at Total War University, or he's working in the school of Morgan Levy Freeman when it comes to cost effect. So he works as a professor in the school of Levy Freeman. Business school where he works as a professor in cost-effective trades. I don't know. I'm just making up all kinds of stuff. He's got a doctorate in Total War mechanics, Total War physics, Levy Freeman praising, and just in general good videos. So no, anyway, I guess he came and saw that one of my viewers, and I saw that same viewer that commented asking me for more Empires of Sand online action, and Attila, and I told that person I'll try and get some. I haven't gotten to play any. I still have not gotten to play any, but Maximus, being the awesome guy he is, offered up this replay here where we see Obelix now against Blademaster. Obelix is a great player. It's always fun to see him in here too, so appreciate him participating as well. Maximus is going to take the Burgundians against the Himyar. Now this is going to be an interesting matchup for me at least, because the Burgundians, at least back in the day, are known for their crazy good cavalry mixed with very cheap, very effective Burgundian axe infantry. These guys were a terror in multiplayer, and then now the Himyar are the new terror. The Almaqua Lancers, the Armored Camel Warriors, Athar's Chosen. So this will be interesting, kind of two terrors facing off against each other, though I'm guessing that the Burgundians probably operating at a slight disadvantage nowadays. We'll see how this goes. Obelix definitely capitalizing on the 6 Athar's Chosen. I wouldn't expect any less at this point. 4 Almaqua's Lancers. A couple of archers, like horse archers, interesting. Looks like a desert chieftain. And a couple of these Roomba warriors, or however you pronounce those guys. Hurlers make good sense. Shot cavalry is going to be a guaranteed coming from the Burgundians. Let's take a look at the army. So Maximus with the Burgundians has got the Royal Burgundian General. I'm assuming 6 Royal Lancers. Bringing the Barbed Lancers wouldn't make much sense. See, that is what it is. Burgundian Axemen, I would assume we're going to see 6 of these guys, and indeed we do. The Burgundian Axemen do not have Rapid Advance, but they do have Frenzy, it looks like. So Scattershot Hurlers, looks like we've got quite a few of them, and why not? They're cheap, 6 of them. So, not going to do great damage, but they can potentially slow down and hurt enemy cavalry. Zodiac Archers, this is an interesting choice. Were these guys the real expensive bowmen? I'm going to have to go take a look at it. Interesting. Let's see, they do not have Parthian Shot. They do have a scare effect, or no, they can scare enemy. Yeah, they have a scare effect and the scare ability. Scattershot Hurlers, though, would get a pretty nice piece of these guys if they don't back off, because they're not really well armored. Surprised none of them had died, so the Scattershot Hurlers must be complete dog crap. No, these guys have higher health, that's right. And so, let's see, so 5 Hurlers. Looks like we've got, like I said, the 4 Almaqua's Lancers, 6 Athar's Chosen. Woo! This right here is a line of demigod-like warriors who only need a bare chest and a small dagger. And, of course, a silver mask for extra fashion. These Roomba Skirmishers are the lighter variety, not the heavier one, but still 990 damage javelins. Very nice. Desert Warlord, not a chieftain, so a very nice heavy general there. Zodiac Archers out here on the flank, kind of picking away. These guys do not have... it looks like they have a spear for secondary combat, so they wouldn't be completely worthless charging into the back of an already engaged cavalry unit. Looks like they're going to go after the Scattershot Hurlers here. Probably not a bad choice. The Hurlers slowing them down, doing surprisingly little damage with the Scattershot Hurlers. Are these guys really just so crappy? I haven't seen them in a long time. Royal Lancer's going to chase these guys out, but not give too much chase, which is a good choice. Doesn't want to bring his Royal Lancers too close to the enemy Hurlers. These Zodiac Archers... excellent charge, right? Excellent armor? No, poor armor. I'm trying to figure out how these guys are surviving shots from the Scattershot Hurlers. Maybe they're just not getting good hits. I don't know what the deal is. Looks like 1 Germanic Archer here for Maximus. Probably... I think that's the 200 range unit. Yeah. It is. It's a good choice. He can control a larger area with it. See, its range comes all the way out to here, so that gives Maximus the ability to control a large area. The Royal Lancers pulling away from Almaqua's Lancers, definitely a good choice. You don't want to be anywhere near them. Hurlers, though, going to get shots into the back of the Royal Lancers. It's going to be very rough. Almaqua's Lancers just have higher health, and the Camel Mass, from what I hear, is very high. Though go look at the Total War forums for Attila, and also go check out Maximus's channel. This is where I got the idea. Go check out the video he puts up about how cavalry are immune to impact damage on Attila. Yes, that's right. Cavalry are immune to impact damage on Attila, which is actually the reason why elephants suck. Dr. Maximus taught me this morning. So, yes, very, very interesting bit of stuff to point out. Very nice flaming shots here coming off the Germanic archers, and that did some damage to the Zodiacs. They've been pretty happy charging in and out of scattershot hurlers, but I mean, these are so cheap. I don't know if this is really worth it for Obelix, but maybe it is if he ends up getting the charge with these Almaquo's Lancers. These Royal Lancers will want to get out of here, but now pulling away, they're going to take a lot of damage. Let's see what Maximus does. Ooh, seems like he would want to be getting out of here. Well, the Almaquo's Lancers got caught, but now they're going to get a secondary charge. More scattershot hurlers, though, coming up. Looks like Maximus wants to cause the damage, maybe sacrificing one cav unit to hold these guys within firing range, and that may not be a bad choice. Yes, and now he's got another Royal Lancer incoming. Let's see if there's any answer here from Obelix. Not yet. Obelix is just going to pull away. Probably a good choice. The health on these guys is so high that it's going to take quite a bit of skirmish fire to start chipping away their numbers. In fact, they did not lose a single man under all that fire. Whoa! The Royal Lancers followed all the way in here and then got countercharged by the Lancers, and they're losing badly. So this is rough for Maximus, but it looks like he's still kind of pursuing this option of Zodiac Archers charging into the Burgundian Axemen, trying to get a few quick kills, and they do. They get 10. Almaquo's Lancers just absolutely crushing the Royal Lancers over here under incessant hurler fire, but these guys probably won't take too many losses to the hurlers. The hurlers have poor armor piercing, and the camels are pretty heavily armored, and they have very high health, so it's going to take a lot of skirmish fire, but at least he's doing HP damage to these Almaquo's Lancers, if nothing else, so that his Burgundians have a better chance later on. This is going to be a tough, tough fight for the Burgundians. Their infantry would lose to Athar's Chosen on the charge. If the Athar's Chosen do not get a good charge, then I would assume the Burgundian Axemen could probably dispatch them. But we'll see. More Almaquo's Lancers coming. These guys just pushing into heavy skirmish fire. Now they're going to turn around and take it in the back. More flaming shot coming in. Still 60 men, though. Haven't lost a single camel. Zodiac Archers, 87 kills. Against cheap units for the most part, though, so maybe not worth it. Desert Hurlers pushing up now against the Scattershot Hurlers. If they exchange ammo on each other, it's not going to be the best use of ammo for either player. But I'm guessing that, if anything, these Athar's Chosen do not want those Scattershot Hurlers to survive to late game. The Scattershot Hurlers would take a lot of shots to do it, but they could do a lot of damage to the Athar's Chosen. These guys' one weakness, and probably only weakness, is that they don't have armor. Almaquo's Lancers pushing the engagement here against Royal Lancers. Very close to support, though, from Maximus. If I were him, I would go ahead and pull an axe unit out here, maybe. Oh, no, the Almaquo's Lancer had an improper charge and just gets absolutely destroyed by the Royal Lancer. Holy cow, wouldn't have seen that coming. It must have had a misclick, so Obelix has a misclick or something there, and then the Almaquo's Lancer just gets owned. And that's a great, great thing for Maximus. Another Almaquo's Lancer here coming out very far away from infantry support. His charge is going to be spent on the Royal Lancer, which means these Axemen are going to get in here. They are going to take a little bit of the charge here, but those Axemen, they are going to cause some damage in prolonged melee. The Dane Axe is going to have nice armor piercing, nice high attack. It should serve Maximus well versus these Lancers, especially after the first 15 seconds where their charge bonus wears off. Those Lancers have done some serious damage. Athar's Chosen coming in now, getting pegged with skirmish fire. Maximus is going to want to do as much damage to these guys. They do not get a great charge, though. They kind of get hung up, and only a few of them make it through on this charge, and they kind of hit some of their own guys, so not the best charge in here. And they're under skirmish fire, taking losses, taking quite a few losses, actually. But they do help the Almaquo's Lancers pull out, though it may be too late. Those guys took a pretty savage beating. And Athar's Chosen now engaged with Burgundian Axemen, and Burgundian Royal Lancers. Almaquo's Lancers coming around for another charge. Probably not a bad idea. These guys are going to die anyway. And if they come in here, they could potentially kill a whole lot of these Burgundian Axemen. Look at the heavy mass of those guys. Just carries them straight through. Yep, and they are going to rout that Burgundian Axeman. Got 67 kills. And in the end, though, the Almaquo's Lancers go, the Burgundian Lancers go. The Athar's Chosen, of course, though, aren't going to rout because they have basically unbreakable morale. So, interesting exchange there. I don't really know who got the better of that. Both players are losing units piecemeal. Maximus, let's see if he's sitting on any ammo for late game right now. He's got a few with these scatter shots. A few here. Looks like he's trying to finish the Almaquo's Lancers. No, now he's going to target Athar's Chosen. Much better choice. Oh yeah, this is what you want. Killing every last one of these godlike beast is going to be a good choice. He's going to ignore the beat up unit and probably try and, yeah, he wants a pot shot there, but that regrouped Almaquo's Lancers is going to come in here and just absolutely wreck these. Look at the mass of that unit. Just look at that. Look at the mass. I know those guys weren't braced, but you see how far it carried them through that formation, whereas most cavalry get kind of jacked up coming through here. They just plowed right through those guys. Again, light skirmishers, don't expect a lot, but the mass on these guys, along with their power and just general health and stuff, is incredible. And look, they still one-shotted some of the Burgundian Lancers on the charge. The power on these guys is insane. Yeah, the Royal Lancers are going to have to get out of there in a hurry because they're being pursued by Athar's Chosen. And the Athar's Chosen one-shotting some Burgundian Lancers on the charge too. Another Burgundian Lancer nearby though. These Athar's Chosen are now in pretty real danger. That skirmisher is a big danger to Maximus as well. Nice charge down the center here by the Royal Burgundian General, but it's going to actually get slowed up by the Desert Hurlers, though he does connect here to the Almaquo's Lancers. Axes inbound, Athar's Chosen inbound, so it is about to get messy. Athar's Chosen are definitely going to turn this fight over here, but if he keeps this cavalry in reserve, might be able to do something with it. Athar's Chosen here getting held up. The Desert Warlord catches some Royal Lancers, and these skirmishers, don't know where they're firing. I don't think they're firing at all right now. I think they're in melee combat. Comes a Royal Lancer into these skirmishers back here. Almaquo's Lancer nearby, but it's not going to be able to stop these guys from tying down all these units back here and killing an obscene number of the Rumha skirmishers. Those guys are pretty tough, though. They've got quite a bit of health. Pulling away from the Athar's Chosen here, probably a good choice. Needs to cycle back around and he can take those guys out. Pulling the General out while he can, also a good choice. These Burgundian Axemen are going to cause a lot of damage here. Burgundian Axemen here getting into the Athar's Chosen that did not get a good charge, so this is the one time you'll see these guys probably die in melee. If they don't get a good charge, it can be rough for them because of their low numbers. They're still quite good in melee, but they need that charge. Here comes a brutal Royal Lancer charge onto the Rumha skirmishers. Looks like with the loss of a lot of the Almaquo's Lancers, the Himyar are starting to disintegrate a little under the charges and axes of the Burgundians. Here comes a charge in from the Royal Burgundian General. More Burgundian Axemen charging in against the Almaquo's Lancers. Again, these guys have Almaca Lancers, or whatever you want to call these. I don't know what I'm calling it. If I've been pronouncing it wrong the whole time, then you're just going to have to keep cringing. Nice charge here into the side of the Lancers. Looks like Maximus kind of has this one wrapped up at this point. There is still a Desert Warlord out here. Decent cav unit, but if it takes a charge, oof, yeah. Going to take a charge in the back from a Royal Burgundian, or a Burgundian Royal Lancer here. So that's going to work out nice for Maximus. Athar's Chosen here getting beat down by cavalry. The Lancers now overwhelmed by numbers. Axemen coming in here to support against the Desert Warlord. It's going to be good. In prolonged combat, the Warlord would do decent against the Lancers, but on the charge it'll do poorly. Here comes the Warlord pulling away, trying to get behind its skirmishers. Not a bad plan. He can probably kill a decent number of those Lancers with skirmish fire, but the Axemen are going to catch up and get rid of these guys. So we'll watch the Rumha skirmishers being routed. Desert Warlord's probably, yeah, he's routing now too. So all of the Himyar units, except for Athar's Chosen, these guys don't rout. And they don't die, they're just missing in action. Kind of like Spartans on Halo. These guys are redonkulous. They're going to get charged, though, from behind by another Royal Lancer. And that's going to be a whole lot of shish kebab Athar's Beastmen. And that's going to be the end of them. But you can see that they pretty much fight to the last man, even when the rest of the army is dead. The warlord came back, and so did the Rimpa skirmishers. All these guys are going to get destroyed. Good game to Obelix, good game to Maximus. I appreciate him sending this in, so whoever was looking for more Empires of Sand action, you got it. Though Maximus representing the Burgundians well here. I know that they themselves are not a Norse faction, but I think he's Scandinavian. He got to use a whole bunch of Dane axes, so I'm sure that makes him happy every time he gets to see some Dane axes putting some Athar's Chosen to eternal sleep. So appreciate him sending that in. I hope you all enjoyed it. Let's take a look at the kill count here. These Lancers, they are good. These Athar's Chosen were actually limited in their effectiveness, which was important. Ideally, I think what the Himyar might want to do is, I mean, don't get me wrong, these Zodiac Archers got some kills, but I think they were on the Scattershot Hurlers, which may make it less than worth it. These units could potentially be handy too, but they're also very expensive. Ideally, I think what you would want to do, and again, this is coming from a guy who's by no means a pro in multiplayer, and for me to be telling Obelix what to do is probably foolish, but just gonna throw 2 cents in here, take it for what it's worth, if it's worth anything. I like the 6 Athar's Chosen, definitely a choice that people would expect. Also like the pick of the Hurlers. Let me go to my settings. We're gonna put this on large settings, which was what they were playing under. You can see these Lancers are very expensive, so he only brings 4 of them. That kind of makes sense. I almost think, though, that maybe he should have gone for a couple armored camel warriors, but again, he knew he was going to be facing Burgundian Royal Lancers and Burgundian Axemen, so might have been the reason why he went for the option on the skirmishers here. Could even do something like that, and then just throw in another Hurler. So actually, that's pretty close to what he had. Yeah. So I think that I would have traded those Zodiac Archers for the Armored Camel Warriors. That would have been the main change that I would have been behind there. His army's really not bad. The Slingers can slow down enemy cavalry. Athar's Chosen can help mop up cavalry fights. These cavalry here are all quite good because the camels have very good health. So there's pretty tough cavalry here, and then you got the Desert Warlord on top of it, which is also a tough cavalry unit. So definitely not a bad overall pick. He just varied it up a little bit by putting some Zodiac Archers here rather than the armored camels. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Thank you, Maximus. Thank you, Obelix. I will see you back next time.